everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda. In today's video, we're going to be planting some more peppers. Yeah, I got to start some more pepper seeds because I got some pepper seeds in that I need to get planted that I really want to have these particular peppers. So I'm going to be starting these seeds today. Also going to be planting a pecan tree and some berries in the garden. But first, I'm going to be showing you all how I plant seeds in the garden when it's raining. Because today, it has been raining and we're expecting more rain. So I'm going to show you how I plant my seeds when I don't want to get my seed packets wet in the rain. First, I want to get something planted inside. And it is going to be some peppers. And y'all, I know it's kind of late to be starting peppers in zone 8. But there is still time because we have a long growing season. And my main purpose for planting these is the Sugar Rush Peach. I really want to get more seeds because I ordered these online. As you can see, they said it would be 10 seeds and I got 10 seeds. And so I am going to plant at least 4 of these. And I'll plant 4 or 5 of these and see if I can get some so that I can have my own seeds. So I'll save some, just in case they're not successful. But hopefully, with 5 plants, I should have some success enough to get some seeds for next season and to be able to share. I'm gonna use 4 pots because I have these serrano peppers that I want to go ahead and get started also. So I'm gonna plant these serrano peppers and I'm gonna plant the Sugar Rush Peach pepper. And so I am going to see if I can get some soil out of here. I'm going to push my soil down so that my seeds won't just go to the bottom of these containers. And I'm starting in these size containers because I don't plan to have to up pot these when it's going to be warm. I'm going to go ahead and get them started inside the house, but then later I will take them out. Go ahead and bottom water. Moisten up my soil before I get started. And go ahead and bottom water. So now it's all left to do is to go ahead and get my seeds started. And these are my Sugar Rush Peach. Okay, so I'm going to do 6 seeds. I'm going to do 3. So I have 4 seeds left. I'm going to do 3 in 2 of these containers. I'll lightly press them into the soil and then add a little more potting mix on top. And make me 2 labels. This is a Sugar Rush Peach. And the other pepper that I'm going to be planting is the serrano pepper. I'll go ahead and get my labels in. Now these seeds were purchased from the Dollar Tree. So these were some inexpensive seeds. I would love it if Dollar Tree could get a hold to some of these different ones like the Sugar Rush Peach and peppers like that they want to charge an arm and leg for. Because those Sugar Rush Peach peppers were expensive and I had to pay shipping for them. So I will be hopefully getting some seeds, and then I'll be sharing these seeds so that some of you won't have to go and spend that much money for those seeds. But that was the only way that I saw to get those seeds. Okay, I'm going to add some vermiculite to the top of these pots to help to stop the algae growth and to keep the fungus gnats down. Okay, I'm going to cover them with a dome lid, and I'm going to place them on the grow station. I have placed them on top of a heat mat with a dome lid. Once I see some germination, I will remove the dome lid and I will place them underneath the grow light. Give y'all a quick peek at the rosemary plants. They are doing wonderfully. And these tomatoes are ready to go outside. And these are the tomatoes that I recently restarted, and so they are looking really good. And these pepper plants are ready to go outside as soon as all the frost danger has passed. Although we have reached our last expected frost date, but there are still some lows in the forecast. Y'all, since it has been raining outside, and it's probably going to be raining some more, I am going to plant some seeds, but I don't want to take my seed packs outside because I don't want to get them wet. So what I'll be doing is starting those seeds inside. And the seeds I'm going to be starting are some chives, some parsley, some dill, some basil, and some cilantro. Okay, and since I don't want to take my seed packets outside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these cups, and I'm just going to sprinkle some seeds in here, and then I'll take these cups outside and pour them into the spaces. I already have my spaces prepared that I'm going to be planting these seeds in. So this one is my chives right here. I'm going to put some of these seeds into the chives area, and I'm not going to put a lot because I'm just going to put them in a small space. So I don't want to put a whole group of chives. Just want a few seeds in here. And I don't have any fertilizer in here, but I will stop into my garage and get some fertilizer because I didn't want that smell inside the house. Okay, so the next one that I have is the dill. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of my dill seeds in here. I have some soil in here. And I already have my label in here to let me know what this is. So this is just the way I'm going to do this because I want to plant something outside today. And I don't want to get them wet. So there's a few dill seeds in there. I got my dill and my chives done. And now I'm going to do my cilantro since this one to fall over on me. Just put a few cilantro seeds in here. And I'll shake them up in the soil. So I'll do my basil. And I'll just drop a few of these basil seeds in here. And that's the basil. Those are some basil seeds that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. Just shake those seeds around in here. And then I'll go ahead and put some parsley into my last cup. Sprinkle some of these parsley seeds in here. Just a few. Okay, and shake those parsley seeds. I mean, I don't have a lot in either one. So now I'm just going to stack these so they'll be easy to transport out. Because I'm going to stop in the garage first and get some fertilizer so that I can take it out with me. And I already have the fertilizer in each of the cups. And all I need to do is go and sprinkle it in the area that I'm going to be planting. Okay, so I stopped in the garage to get some slow release fertilizer. And I'm just going to add some to each of my cups. And then we're gonna go and sprinkle them in the garden. Okay, the first one is my basil. I'm gonna just sprinkle it right here. I'm gonna put my label in, and I have the date that I planted it. It says basil 330. Then my next spot right here is where I'm going to be placing my cilantro. And I'm just gonna sprinkle this right here in the corner. And place my label in. It says cilantro 330. This container right here is where I am going to be planting my chives. I'm going to be putting some dill in this container. And I'm going to be putting my parsley right here in this bed. And I still have my cups that I can reuse. You all, let's take a quick look at how some things are growing in the garden. These are the sweet peas that we inoculated, and they are doing very good. The peppermint is waking back up. The purple lilac is blooming real good, and I still have not put this plant in the ground. Y'all, this collard green is going to seed. But I'm going to eat these collard greens, and I am going to harvest them right now, and I'm going to harvest leek scapes with them. Let me show you my leek scapes. This is what my leek scapes is looking like, and I'm going to harvest these leek scapes, and I'm going to cook part of them, and I'm going to put the rest of them in my freezer. Y'all, if you've never tried leek scapes, you need to try them. They are so delicious. And we're going to have some strawberries real soon, y'all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to harvest these collard greens. And I know that since they have gone to seed, they have probably gotten a little bitter. But I was raised up on bitter greens, so bitter greens don't bother me. If they too bitter, I just add a little sweetener to them. They don't appear to be tough at all. Okay, so this is my harvest today. I got some collard greens, and I have my leek scapes. Okay, you all, this is what my asparagus bed is looking like today. It is beginning to get some weeds in it. Got some grass popping up everywhere, so I'm gonna have to start to weed in this bed. But today I came out here to plant some more asparagus. And usually during the spring, whenever those asparagus plants go on sale, I usually pick up one or two, depends on how much they are. This season, I picked up one because of the variety, and this is the variety. It is a purple passion. So I only got one of these purple passion asparagus. And I'm going to plant it out here, but this one looks similar, but it's not that dark. And this is one that I purchased a few years ago. And I think that this is the Martha Washington. But one thing about growing your asparagus, if you grow your asparagus from these roots, more than likely your roots are going to be 2 or 3 year crowns. And so once they have made these crowns like this or these roots like this, then you'll be able to get a harvest from them really soon. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this one. It is so delicious. I'm turning around looking for more. I see some more. I'm going to save them for someone else to have some, but that was delicious. But when I also sometimes will pick up a packet of seeds, and when I get the seeds, there's going to be a difference in how those the plants are going to look when those seeds come up than when these roots that I purchased, 2 or 3 year crowns, they're going to produce some larger spears of asparagus. I'm going to show you what the ones will look like once you plant your seeds. Okay, you see this little thing right here? Once you plant some seeds, this is what you can expect to get in the seed. And I would not eat this because, for one reason, I'm not going to get any satisfaction from eating this. It is too small. So I'm going to leave this, let it grow up, and it's going to turn into a fern. And this is what those ferns will look like. And this fern growth is going to send energy back to the roots of this plant. And then after a few years, then it's going to start producing some larger asparagus for me. And when they get to be this size right there, those ones I will eat. I'm not telling you to eat them. You can leave yours and let them fern up. Because sometimes I leave mine and let them fern up. Because see, this was a large one. The only reason it got left is because I just missed it, y'all. If I had came out here, it probably was during a day when I did not come and check on the asparagus. And so this one got to grow up to be a fern. And that is why it is as big as it is from this size right here, because those smaller ones are not going to look like that. They're going to look like this. But as I told you, I do have some weed that is starting to grow around in this bed. I'm going to pull a few of these, but this is not what I came out to this bed to do today. But you want to try to keep up with your weeds. You don't want to let your weeds get out of hand in any of your beds. Okay, but I think that's a good spot right there. I do have some other stuff planted in this bed. There is some spinach planted over here and some chicory planted in the area. So I will be having some other stuff that will be growing. So I'm gonna need to come back and get these weeds. But like I said, that's not what I came out here to do today. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna plant this asparagus. Okay, so let's go ahead and open these crowns and see what they look like. And they're calling them, on the package, they're saying roots. They're not calling them crowns. So let's see what they're looking like. Okay, but they are crowns. Okay, they got some rubber bands wrapped around. Go ahead, I'm gonna remove these rubber bands. Rubber band don't want to cut. Y'all, you don't never know what you're gonna get when you open these packages that look like this. There, you know, you can't see through the plastic, so you don't never know what your plant's gonna look like. But this is what these look like. Okay, so these are the roots. This is the crown. This is the part that you do not want to cover. I'm trying to feel to see if it's any way whatsoever pliable. But it feels like, it doesn't look that great, but it feels like it's not falling to pieces or anything. So we're gonna plant these 3 crowns. I bought some bone meal and some of my slow release fertilizer out here. So I'm just gonna make me 3 holes and pop them in. Okay, so I got my trowel here. I'm just gonna dig me a hole right there, dig another hole right here, and I can tell that there are no crowns already right here, and then I'm gonna dig one over here. Wait a minute, there's a crown right there. I don't want to run into any of my other crowns. Okay, here's a space right here. So you have to be careful when you're constantly planting in your beds to make sure that you're not digging up, especially when you got crowns in there. You're not digging any crowns up, or you're not covering the crowns. Okay, so this is my slow release fertilizer that I'm going to be adding to these holes. And I'm also going to add some bone meal. And the bone meal is going to help with the root growth. So that's what we're planting. We're planting roots. Planting asparagus roots. So you can try and mound this up if you want to. You could mound it up. If you're planting them in certain ways, you can mound them up, try to get some soil underneath. I got my hole dug. I put some soil around the base of the plant, kind of spreading those roots out over that soil mound. Just made a little small mound, and as you can see, my crowns are left above the soil. So I got one more that I'm going to do. I'm going to do it right back here. Putting it in above this little soil, made a little mound, and then I'm going to pull my soil around it. So the main thing is you make a little mound, spread your roots over it, and pop them in. Making sure that you do not cover your crown. And now I'm going to water those in. Okay, y'all, this is my blackberry that I planted about 2 weeks ago, and I've already changed my mind about having this blackberry planted in this pot. I'm going to remove this blackberry from this pot, and I'm going to plant it in ground. I'm going to plant it right here. It's going to make me a spot right here. Move back my plastic. Make a hole right here. There's some weird looking worms down here. I'm just seeing that so many of my plants are doing so much better since I removed them from those pots and put them in ground. It's just hard for me to leave a lot of plants in those pots now. So I think that's a deep enough hole. It was in a gallon pot. And I'm also going to be loosening it up from this pole that is connected to, because there's a twist tie on it, and this was done at the store, and these are mostly done for transport. They're not meant to be left on the plant. Once you put the plant home and plant it, those need to come off because it is restricting your plant. Okay, so this is what the plant looks like. There's the tag right there. There's still a stake in here. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the stake as long as it's not restricting my plant. One of the leaves is broken. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. Remove any dying or decaying plant matter. So first I'm gonna add some slow release fertilizer and some bone meal to this hole. Pop my plant in. And I'm gonna go ahead and backfill this hole with this native soil. This is the native soil is just the natural soil that is in your garden. It's not potted mix or anything like that. It's just the soil that has been in your yard all the time. Tap it in with my high C boots. I'll lean it forward some so that it can get ready to start trellising up this fence. I can even put this stake through the fence and start it to trellising up the stake and up this fence. I'm gonna put the Loganberry in the center. Let's see what the roots look like. Okay, so this is what the roots look like on the Loganberry. Okay, the next one is my raspberry, and my raspberry plant looks a whole lot better. It has some green growth on the stem, whereas that Loganberry did not have any green growth. I'm gonna be careful with it so I don't lose all my roots. I think I'll take it and tear this plastic. Yeah, it looks a whole lot better. This plant looks a whole lot better, and I'm hoping that Loganberry is going to do good for me because it doesn't have any growth that looks like this or any life like green on this root or stem. But we're gonna keep an eye on it. So this raspberry looks a whole lot better. Go ahead and get it planted. Drop it in this hole. here I need to cut out. I'm going to turn it around so that it can be in position to trellis up this pole. Go ahead and backfill my home. That's my son Rick in the background with the weed eater. Okay, so we got raspberry, loganberry, and blackberry planted. And y'all, the last tree that I want to plant, the last thing I want to plant today is something that we have not been planting on the homestead. Y'all, it is time to start planting some nut trees. This is a pecan tree. We have been foraging for nuts recently. We use a lot of pecans on the homestead, and so whenever we find somewhere that we can go and get some, we get them. And recently we were able to find some pecans and get us some pecans, because otherwise we have to purchase them in bulk from Amazon because we use a lot of pecans on the homestead. So I'm going to be planting us a tree so that we can hopefully in a few years have some pecans, because pecan trees are different from most of your fruit trees. Unless you go ahead and purchase a large tree, then you'll have to wait on those pecans. But a tree like this probably won't see any for 4 or 5 years. So we're gonna, go ahead and plant this baby and hope for the best. But if I find a pecan tree or any other nut trees for a more reasonable price, because the ones I've been seeing are way up in price because those are the larger trees. So if you are going to go ahead, you want to start some nut trees and you want to start them at a very reasonable price, then go ahead and start with one of these small ones. But just keep in mind that you're going to be having to wait some years for this to bear some fruit for you. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find a spot right back here. I'm gonna plant it between some trees that I'm not sure about as far as whether they're going to survive or not. I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna dig a hole back here and between these two trees, and I'm gonna plant this pecan tree, because you wanna make sure if you plant a pecan tree or most of these fruit trees, get them far away from your house. You do not want them where they can get underneath the foundation of your house. Do not plant fruit trees or pecan trees close to your house. It's best to plant them. This pecan tree needs to be 20 feet away from the house. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna let you see what the root is looking like. And this one is a hardy pecan. It is hardy zones 5 through 9. Okay, so I'm gonna show you all what the roots are looking like on this little tree. Got to be careful with it because this is a tiny, tiny tree. So you don't want to be rough with these tiny trees because you could jeopardize your chance of having a successful okay, so y'all, this ain't nothing but a stick. Okay, y'all, this ain't nothing but a stick. I am not gonna even play with y'all about this. This is a stick. It's a stick. Yeah, I don't see it. I see some roots on here. I can barely see the roots. So with this one, it says to go ahead and plant it in the ground, but I don't think they was talking about this one because the plant that they showed on the back had some roots. That's why it's hard when you bind these plants inside of this plastic, whether you're going to be able to actually have anything that's going to be worth anything. But as I said, I do see that there are some roots. What I'm going to do, instead of putting this one into I should just take it back. But I bought this tree, it's a long ways from where I live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start this little tiny stick with these little tiny roots on it, which I see some roots. I'm going to start it in a pot because I just don't think that it's going to survive otherwise. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start this one in a pot, and then we'll check back on it and see if it's going to take root. And if it takes root, then later we'll plant it out into the garden. And otherwise, I'm going to keep my receipt and out. And if it does not take root, I'll take it back. Because it costs, let me see, it costs $8. So $8, I'm not giving away $8 for a stick that's not going to do anything. If it survives, if these roots will do something. And see, all of the soil came up around it. So I couldn't even hold on to it. I tried. Y'all saw me. I tried to hold on to it. It just all vanished. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to put it in a pot and we're going to see what it does. And if it does anything, then we'll plant it in the ground. But if it doesn't, we're going to take it back to the store. But I'm not going to do. But I think this video is long enough. Y'all know what it's going to look like for me to stick this in a pot. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed the video and that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.